Evet. İyi akşamlar canlarım. Ağır 2'ye kaldığımız yerden devam edeceğiz. Dying Light'ı yıllar sonra bitirdik. Onu da hatırladığımız kadar bir devam edelim bakalım. Vardiyalar uyar da yorgun olmazsak bu kaç günde biter. Allah kerim. Ne yapıyorduk bugün? Ne diyorsun? Gidelim moruk. Geldik mi? Nereye?
Ought to bring Val with us when we leave. She might not look it, but she can be fearsome in a fight.
Vallahi ben bir çağıracağım. Kendi mi gelecek lan?
Subject appears to be exhibiting signs of mental confusion. Updating vital charts.
Kendi gelecek herhalde. Arkadaşlar bu ameliyat durumu hala devam ediyor. Öksürük aksırık akıntım olursa söylemeyin.
No offense to Val, but it's real nice having someone watching my back who ain't in constant need of recalibration. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure. Always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind? Is it me, or has my ankle been squeaking? You can hear it too, right? Must be the damn rotator again. Anyway, need something, Commander? It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Anti-Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Fair point. Guess Horizon Point didn't exactly foster a lasting fellowship, did it? All jesting aside, what's there to tell? Spent the first year getting back up on my feet, literally. Been mostly laying low since then, maintaining my cover. Before the invasion, at least, the Earth Directorate still needed someone to watch the colony, and I had 2 working lamps. Not always. Went a couple of stretches there on low power to avoid detection from Protectorate patrols. I usually shut her down for a few cycles then. The way you're gawping at me right now makes me think I answered that question wrong. I appreciate the concern. Won't lie, had some hard years. Got caught up in a few lost causes, the particulars of which I'd rather not go into now, if it's all the same. No point jawing about history when our ex-agent friend is out there doing her damnedest to ruin the future. I found you. Oh, and Val's been stalling less since I patched her acclimator. Ship doesn't smell anymore. That's about it. Most Valerie units have an operating life of only a few years, but that's on account of it being more cost-effective to replace rather than repair. I don't share that philosophy, personally. You don't junk someone just because one of their parts stops working right. You do whatever it takes to get them up and running again. Spratwurst. Yeah, I figured. That's why I didn't think about it before. Just pay no mind to that odd scarring in the galley. I'm still working on it. Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. It was hard work, sure. But there was something special about seeing one of them long haulers fire up her engines for the first time and knowing you had a hand in her construction. Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. I was on the run for, oh, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense. I could ask you the same thing. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone back to my old life instead of becoming an agent. Stayed on Triangulum, become an engineer or something near to it. I knew joining up with the Earth Directorate wasn't going to be a life of low turbulence, but at least it'd have dignity and purpose to it. Could have maybe done with a smidge less excitement back on Horizon Point. But back to your initial question, do I regret becoming an agent? Yeah, some days. But then there's days like the one when I found you, and, well, not much to regret there. Only thing I know for sure is my opinion today is colored by more than just the rosy tint of a low-run kid looking up at the stars. Life's not fair, but it keeps on. You buttering me up for a favor? I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking extra shifts cleaning the head. Well then, thanks. Just hope that good opinion of me holds. My folks shuffled off the motor coil when I was little. Assembly line accident. Got passed between some distant relations for a few years. They tried their best. Weren't cruel or nothing, but life on Triangulum was tough. And they had their own families to worry about, you know? I didn't like feeling like I was adding to their burden, so I struck out on my own just as soon as I could. And well, you know how that turned out. Yeah. Thoughts crossed my mind over the years, especially when it was just me and Val. I wish I spent more time with her when I had the chance. No point missing something you're never getting back, though. That's either hope or foolishness, Commander, and I can't tell which. Even if we survive the rift, 10 years is a long time to be gone. No word. They probably figure I'm dead. Void it all. Now you got me thinking about it. How about this? We ever make it out of this system, I'll take you back to Triangulum and make the introductions myself. Deal? Oh yeah. They're gonna get a real charge out of you. She was one of the forward agents who went ahead to assess just how bad Triangulum had gotten. We met while I was in hiding, and I helped her learn the lay of the land, as it were. She was no nonsense. I thought her one of the smartest people I'd ever met. And while she could also be cutting, I felt like I only caught her edge when I deserved it. I liked her. And for some reason, she seemed to take a shine to me. But she wasn't around long. By the time I officially joined up, she'd already moved on to the next mission. Sure was. Kept hoping I might run into her during training. But now I know she was busy turning her coat here in Arcadia. I've got time.
Senin de var mı derdin?
Orders. How may this unit assist you, Commander? Presenting the Valerie unit, the latest and greatest in a line of Earth Directorate support automechanicals. All you could want in a squad mate at half the cost. The Valerie unit is the exclusive property of the Earth Directorate and is not intended for civilian or commercial use. Resale of this unit is strictly prohibited. Searching mission parameters. One moment. Searching. Error. Unable to find current mission parameters. Defaulting to last known objectives. Goal. Infiltrate Horizon Point Station and retrieve data pertaining to skip drives and rifts.
You'll have to pardon Val, Commander. She gets confused sometimes. Logic unit can't always keep up. I keep tinkering with her assembly, but no dice. hope you're not implying what I think you are, or we're gonna have us some words.
Do you have any other queries, Commander? Attempting to ride this unit in order to replicate the experience of flight is strongly discouraged. This unit can support up to 100 pounds of weight while still remaining airborne, and is not ideal for body transportation or disposal. Do you have any other queries, Commander? Vitality augmentation, logistics evaluation, reconnaissance, and information extraction unit. This unit was first deployed on a mission to Redacted more than 10 years ago and was primarily credited for that operation's success. Other highlights include the triumph at Redacted, the rescue of Redacted, and the first successful execution of the Stanfield maneuver in zero gravity. Detailed instructions on how to perform the Stanfield maneuver are proprietary to the Earth Directorate and strictly confidential.
Never scored myself the clearance to learner for fact, but best as I can tell, it's a complex EVA involving a drone and an agent shot up with enough adrenal to wake the dead.
Attempts at the Stanfield maneuver, as proposed by theorist Marion Stanfield, has resulted in multiple deaths, mutilations, and maimings, leading to a ban shortly after discovery. Do you have any other queries, Commander?
Buralarda neler var ya, bir bakalım ya. Çok konuştu bunlar. Bu ne?
See that thing in the sky there? That'll be the Vox relay.
Vox stations serve as key communication hubs for the Protectorate. Unauthorized visitors are likely to be shot or hanged on sight.
That's why we're headed to Fairfield first. Less chance of us getting shot while picking up debris trail.
Hadi gidelim karakola merkeze. Başka ne var buralarda? Lan sizi öldürebiliyor mu? Ya, bir sürü malzeme var ya. Niye dolaşmayacağız ki? Lan.
Engaging hostile life force.
Company. Must be from that ship on the landing pad.
Whoa there, go-getter. Welcome to Fairfield, now under the new and improved management of Auntie's Choice. I'd usually ask if you were affiliated with the previous regime, but you lack the bewildered gaze of a yay-saying protectorate subject. Even so, going to have to ask you to identify yourself. Still a war on and all. Well, then try to identify who I'm looking at presently. Well, I completely lack the words to describe you right now. So, well done, I suppose. End of the day, we let most anybody in. Bottom lines, all we care about is our bottom line. That'll be all.
Ne tata mı yapıyorum o zaman?
Before you're on your way. On the way from the landing pad? Had a convoy out that way. They're overdue. See any sign of them? Damnation. I had a friend on that detail. He always carried this, keepsake. You didn't happen to find it, did you? Well, never too late to start. Plunder's plunder, Auntie always says. Them protectorate drones been a serious menace of late. Heard Trooper Faulkner shot a few. You find a way to put a stop to them, there's a bounty for it. Bounty terminal's out next to the jail, across from the bar. Just down the lane here a spell. You get to Town Hall, you passed it. What? You been in hibernation or something? We're here to bring the free market's liberation to the people of Arcadia. And Arcadia's bounty to the rest of the galaxy, of course. As I've never heard of her, can't say I can. Seems like Minister Milverstreet knows everybody, though. Probably ask him. Anything else? Oh, we got everything. One of them, at least. Clinic's over there on your left. Watering hole's a bit down on the right. Market's a straight shot down the lane. Once again, welcome to Fairfield, the official new home of free trade and self-reliance on Eden.
mean to sound unsociable, but you might not want to stand so close. The bleeding ain't contagious, but it ain't slowed much neither. I'd hate to bleed all over you. Wouldn't mind conversating a bit, though. Anything to take my mind off the pain. Oh, it stings.
This unit is not permitted to operate within corporate-owned medical facilities without said corporation's consent. Non-legally binding reassurances, however, may be offered.
Reassurances, you say? Like what?
Deploying reassurance. Do not worry. You will be fine.
I guess that's something. Look at me, drawing comfort from a drone after being attacked by one. Funny world, ain't it? You sound like my unit captain.
Stop sniveling, Erickson. You're not being paid by the tier.
Once I stopped howling, I saw her point. War ain't no place for soft hearts and weak rifles. If only she could have seen me when the drone first swooped in. I returned fire like it was a cereal. Bang, bang, bang! Pew, pew, pew! Oh, not excessively, of course. Don't want Auntie taking that extra ammunition out of my paycheck. Again, it was all going fine until the damn thing blasts me while I'm reloading. Mighty uncourteous, you ask me. Trooper Faulkner happened upon the scene just then and dispatched the drone before it could finish me off. No idea where these drones are coming from, but Faulkner's been having a time of it lately. Be nice if someone helped out, but Carr's hands are tied. Lack of resources, I guess? As for the rest of these fine folk, they were attacked by Protectorate while defending the forward operating base. Imagine the base is probably hurting for warm bodies just now. Only one of the most lucrative posts a soldier could be assigned to. Hazard pay through the roof. The FOB's our main line of defense. The only thing stopping the Protectorate from sending their legions over that bridge of theirs and attacking us here in Fairfield. The man in charge, Commander Torres, is a legend. Rumor has it his troopers are relentless, fighting through wounds that would kill most. What I wouldn't give to join his outfit. Playing it safe doesn't amount to much, but maybe you're right. Probably just muck things up at the FOB too. Damn it. I gotta find some way to beat these low-runger allegations. It's all a moot point till I can get this arm of mine mended. Poor Doc Barnes is working himself to the bone trying to take care of us, but he's only one man. I suppose it could be worse. At least Command's not throwing us at that relay station. Can't imagine the casualties he'd be dealing with then, given all its defenses. Well, Cole's got the saloon up and running now. World always shines a little brighter after a few swigs of Spectrum. I don't know. You some kind of doctor type? I hate to stifle your curiosity, but I'm not looking to become an exhibit. Don't sweat it none. Auntie's Choice advocates for self-reliability anyway. Can't go around expecting other people to solve my problems for me, right? Milver Street's gonna love you. Anyway, thanks for stopping to chat. The other troopers here ain't exactly chatty types. Maybe on account of the blood loss?
Rum leeches. Always thieving.
Ne oldu lan?
I must ask you to hold still.
My liver ain't the lily kind. Tell it to me straight, Doc.
The bullet shattered your tibia and all but demolished your gastrocnemius muscle. Due to the risk of infection, I have to abscise your leg. There is good news, however. I recently enrolled in a course on advanced amputation techniques, so I'll be seeing a positive return on my investment sooner than expected.
Yeah, Doc. Is this really necessary? Kind of need my leg. You know, for getting around and such.
I don't have time to argue about this. I have other patients waiting. If you're disinclined to live, leave. Otherwise, we need to get you prepped for the procedure.
Say, how sore are my pockets gonna be after all this, Doc? Don't suppose there's a discount for only taking a portion of the leg?
I'm not running a charity. If you desire full treatment, you'll pay full cost. If that's a problem, seek compensation from your commanding officer. Well then, she should have thought about that before getting shot.
This is a mighty big decision, Doc. Can I have a moment to noodle on it?
I don't encourage delays, but very well. It'll take a few minutes for me to warm up the saw anyway. Short of you skipping back in time and ordering the coagulant I need, I doubt anything can be done to accelerate the timetable for treating these soldiers. I am a doctor, not a magician. I cannot manufacture coagulant from the aether, neither do I possess the special training to improvise with what supplies I have on hand. Now, was there anything else? Some, most still tout the all-healing nature of protectorate medicine. But despite that, they're surprisingly amenable to accepting treatment.
They ain't grown up with the right to dissent. Probably wouldn't even occur to them to turn down poison if you told them to take it.
Good thing I don't prescribe poison then. Normally. In truth, I expected more resistance given the sudden transition. But I'm not one to complain of a headache I don't have. Pharmaceuticals, bandages, tinctures. It's all here.
consume like a good consume.
Auntie's choice don't look kindly upon thievery.
Emergency protocols ready.
Give the order and I'll take care of it, Commander. Look at a few corpse left.
Working order. Awaits repair.
Don't make me bury another agent. Commander, watch your...
Pretend I'm not here.
Enemy approximating in our vicinity. Might I have a word, Commander?
Sequencing attack strategies.
Insides are leaking outside, Commander.
Oğlum niye çaldık da arandık ya? Ne güzel geziyorduk. Daha oyunu anlayamadım Muruk. Çok ölmüyorum. Sakin ol. Aranıyor mu gene? Aranmayayım.
Boy, take this terminal and trash it. That's it. I need a smoke.
Let me know when you need an stretch.
I wonder how much your head is worth.
Commander, watch your vitals.
Ben hiç çözemedim ki ya. Bu ne? Kumar mı oynuyoruz?
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. The insides are leaking outside, Commander.
Oğlum şu aranmadan çıkmamız lazım ya.
supposed to kill them before you die.
I wonder how much your head is worth.
La la. Adam şu bu çaldık ya. Çalmadan öncesine gitmem lazım.
I must ask you to hold still.
I'd say welcome back, but I reckon a clinic's if you're here for the doc, hope you ain't in any kind of hurry. Wait still.
No time to conversate.
Boy, take this terminal and trash it. That's it. I need a smoke.
That guard wasn't being ironical about the giant hologram over town hall. Well, guess we ought to go acquaint ourselves with that minister like she said.
Property parameters serious offense. Stop now. Stop in Auntie's name. Don't move. Stop in Auntie's name.
Not friendly life form detected.
Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my two old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No,
Auntie.
Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spine. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Hold a moment, Carr. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? Perish the thought. The first rule of diplomacy is never to slight a potential ally, if it can be avoided. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island?
With that hat? Absolutely not.
Is this a bad time to mention I can read lips? Who doesn't get such a compulsion from time to time? Well, if you're serious about it, I suspect we can assist one another. You help me, and I'll get you inside. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving dozens, no, hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed. Please, hear me out. Ante may demand Carr and I do nothing, but for each moment I remain inactive, dozens fall in meaningless combat. I seek a persuasive method of alleviating this conflict. The Protectorate utilizes a procedure known as mental refreshment to ease the temperament of wayward subjects. The Ministry of Accuracy contains vital information about the process and where it is performed. This is the prize I seek. I previously sent a grafted soldier, Trooper Sealong, to retrieve said information, but I have not heard from her in some time. Consequently, I must presume the worst. Grafted soldiers were the subjects of the Enhanced Soldier Program, so named as its intent was to utilize nature to enhance a soldier's natural talents. Unfortunately, the program resulted in many casualties, and what few successes we had were literally short-lived. I may be a motivator of persons, but I'm also something of a realist. Our grafted soldiers are capable at their apex, but many degrade before accomplishing themselves. I chose Trooper Sealong to grant her the opportunity to be of use, but the grafting program was shuttered with good reason. Best to be thorough. Yes, one additional word of warning. The good Commander Carr shall not take kindly to your working with me, though that is a bridge most worth burning in my estimate.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but She's more dangerous than she seems. Even the whole of Spacer's Choice couldn't outmaneuver her.
Still got work if you're looking. Didn't catch a look at your uniform before. Oh, the reaching arm of the Earth Directorate, wagging its fingers and snagging our pocketbooks. Hope you won't be a problem. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction, I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are Protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. This fine settlement is Fairfield. Once in the Protectorate's grasping claws, now Auntie's newest foothold on Paradise Island. When we arrived, it was thick with yaysayers, a hair's breadth away from sacrificing themselves to their old masters. Now they've seen the golden glow of the free market. Entertaining as it is to root out dozens of entrenched, suicidally murderous subjects, I'd take the efficiency of capitulation any day. Couldn't say. Maybe Milver Street's hearts and minds drivel holds weight after all. Though you'll pardon me for not dropping low and begging his forgiveness. The subjects are his problem now. Myself? I'm focused on making sure the Protectorate doesn't bring them back into the fold by force. Unusual refers to every turncoat and is not a halfway strong enough phrase. Try gormless cretins who can not so much as wipe their running noses without begging permission. Don't know if there's a DeVries here, not my department. Milver Street befriends the ex-subjects, keeps tabs on them. Ask him. Why are you looking for them? Who are they to you? So happens that I know the feeling from the receiving end. Bevy of ex-lovers who took my losing interest personal. Romance is a transaction, same as anything. If the deal's no good anymore, walk. And if someone tries to cheat you, make them regret it. I want the Protectorate war effort exsanguinated. You want into the Vox Relay. You help me, I help you. There's a particular holding we shelled early in the war, name of Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center. Deserves a raising for the length of its blasted name alone. My scouts report recent Protectorate attempts to bring it back to functioning. I need the place sabotaged. Less automechs return to aid the Protectorate war effort in droves. Should note, the ministers like to take our working together as a personal affront. Aid me, and I suspect he'll rescind any offer he may have made to you. Certainly could. I wouldn't shed a tear on behalf of those drones, but the Protectorate is used to losing its people, and there'd no doubt be a replacement crew in a week's time. The repair center itself needs to be permanently put out of commission. Anything else is temporary. Competence recognizes competence. One last thing. Visit the Ministry of Accuracy first to gain credentials that will grant you easy entrance to the repair center.
Beş dakika mola.
detected. Please seek medical assistance prior to loss of consciousness. How may this unit assist you, Commander?
Neyse. Evet.
You approach openly, despite your new standing as a minion of Commander Babylon Carr. Speak all you like, you've aligned yourself with the brute, thereby identifying yourself as one. I shall not forget this anytime soon.
Siktir git, unutma lan.
I've some faint recollections of the fuzz beneath my hat. Perhaps I saw such a name amidst my perusal of the Protectorate domicile assignment records. The record room is in this building. You have my permission to peruse at your leisure.
Been working at that spot of business we discussed? Easier to lead with fewer targets nibbling at your psyche. Loose your words. I'm listening. Let me spin you a yarn. One of my elite regiments ceased replying to hails several weeks ago. Hardy bunch. Fought all across the system. Yesterday, the Protectorate launched the regiment commander's upper torso into one of our encampments, which makes 2 1/3 complete corpses of a 6-person unit. Mocking us. Calculating bastards, the Protectorate. Would admire their efficacy if it weren't taking so many of my best and brightest. Once the fighting reignites in full, they'll pay dearly. Music to my ears.
Caught in the act! My records show you have an outstanding fine for past offenses. Pay up or face Auntie's justice. Everything seems to be in order. Carry on.
scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. You know, you might be right. I'm reliably certain I did not want to find out. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Look, I know how it sounds, like I'm a few crabbles short of a herd, but just hear me out. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse, late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost him hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. Or maybe this entity only had the strength to manifest but briefly on this mortal coil. Communication would have proven too difficult for a being of pure information. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars yet, but it's one theory. Saw you coming this time.
suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Is that not why you've come? Because you discovered our recent larceny at the greenhouse? The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. Starving? Hardly. We have greater stores of strength than you suppose. This hunger is a momentary distraction, nothing more.
Is this a secret cellar? And hidden in plain sight, damn near. Guess the greenhouse thefts had a more worldly explanation after all. Well, if they're only flesh and bone protectorate, bullets should do nicely then.
Let no witnesses escape. Kill them both.
Ready to the fore.
Guess I had this mystery all wrong. A small part of me was hoping. Never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. Guess it's probably time for me to let her go, huh? Been holding on to this pitchball card I bought for her, but... well, just take it. Dead can't appreciate sports.
Ne yapıyorsun lan? Tipe bak.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I couldn't liquefy them. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. I am Ethel Tinsley, chimeric scientist. I'm responsible for taming this delightful raptidon here. He will protect our fair town from his feral brethren in the wilds. Theoretically. Officer Carr has been in a state waiting for me to train the raptidons to, maul on command. It's rather pressing, and alas, one scientist-turned-tamer can only do so much. One might say I'm perhaps a bit on edge. Folk here have grown weary, shall we say, with the war effort, and with avoiding Carr and the minister's would-be fisticuffs. No, I don't believe it is. That's what the Protectorate announcers wanted us to believe anyway, before Auntie showed us the truth. No, this is quite abnormal, I'm sure. Anyhow, all I know is that if they were to begin working with each other, the mood in town would certainly be merrier. Or something akin to it. Well, I was a subject once. Despite my talents, the plan dictated that I should be relegated to programming cleaning mechs. Bah. But then, Auntie's Choice came along and offered to transform our lives for the better. I chose to accept. And look where I am today. Over the last year, I have climbed the rungs of my division through the sheer merit of my work. I have finally earned the respect I was always due. I wasn't conquered. I embraced Auntie's arrival. I toiled for years in a meaningless, trifling occupation. My dreams and abilities were my only limit. That's the beauty of ask any of the other Protectorate subjects who converted, and they'd echo my words. When one can allow their ambitions to show, that is true freedom. What use is there in being so callous? Of course, the dust will settle eventually. Couldn't possibly understand what it's like to be seen in any case. I do hope I've satisfied your curiosity. The war effort and liberating the rest of the Protectorate waits for no one, you understand? I would never imply such a thing. I'm sure the Minister and Officer Carr have only our best interests at... I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. So I should return to the Protectorate and accept swift death for desertion? Certainly not. I would much rather stay here, continue my work. One wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. Very well. I ought to focus more on my... I work directly with Officer Carr and her soldiers to ensure... In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leader. Trust me, they are safer here than out in the wilds. I would not be here if this experiment was still causing needless suffering.
Sana bilebiliyoruz mu lan? Bu da herkes çok konuşuyor ya. Nereye sıkıyoruz lan? Gel anam seninle de konuşalım gel. He.
I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn. Avoid it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-Protectorate, a good man. Tracked on the Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit. Brief one, of course. I'm being serious here, Commander. Could you try doing the same? I had some bad years on my own. Now now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Wasn't like I didn't want to take things farther, hit the Protectorate where it hurt. But I still had my cover to think of too. I couldn't risk disrupting the mission. I'd feel better about that commendation if things hadn't turned out as they did. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Wouldn't have expected you to see it that way, given all your talk of trusting no one and looking out for myself. But maybe we've both done some growing since then. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. If it weren't for Zeb, I'd be in the ground. It's a debt I never properly repaid. Plus, I don't relish his last memory of me being a vanishing act. I owe him better. And since finding you, well, a lot feels possible now that didn't.
Herhalde hep bana oynuyorsun, hep gaza getiriyorsun. Tamam, gideceğiz.
Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there.
Ugh. Yanlış yerden dolandık ya.
Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's going untouched by this war.
Sequencing attack strategies.
I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day of the week.
No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. You're kidding, right? Look, even if you did somehow prove to be dangerous or something vaguely approximating it, I still rather fancy my odds in a fight. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? Cute. Though I did come here for another job, it's true. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice, former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milverstreet of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My arm, my graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Other than punch a hole in my armor, cause Huel at the saloon to yell in consternation, not much, at present. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. As do I. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the... Weren't many of us crafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. Truth is, my time is coming. The graft's making me sick, and it'll kill me if I leave it be. But I ain't giving up. There's gotta be a way to fix it. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. If the graft were an imaginary boo-boo, I wouldn't be in this mess, friend. It's paperwork that's the problem. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-starter. Law, no. The contract would just pass down the line of succession. It's a very long line. And anyway, I ain't a killer. No matter how much I fantasize about shutting him up when he goes on and on about how he's the father of capitalism reincarnated. Or lamenting that his mock apple martini ain't blended quite right. Ugh, never quite got the hang of those. Yeah, thanks for the expert opinion. Get the feeling you will. Go on now. There's probably plenty of protectorate info waiting to be scooped up if you're keen. Just mind the raps. I got what I came for, so I reckon it's time to see about my contract. Law knows I could use a lucky break.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice.
Nereye sıkıyor oğlum ya?
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal. Can't get that Andy's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, anyway. Need something, Commander?
Lan gidemiyoruz, arkaya dolanacağız amına koyayım. Niye yüz götürüyorum ben o zaman?
Unauthorized entry into an arbiter training facility is likely to result in violent arbitration.
You hear that? Sounds like a dragoon tromping about. I don't fancy making its acquaintance. Ain't just the dragoon to worry about. Those turrets will also put the hurt on us if we get too close.
Buraya sonra gideceğim.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472.
Eyvallah reis, hallederiz. Sen sıkıntı yapma.
Scout report. Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir. Excellent. At ease, Scout.
Bu ne lan? Kurbağa mısın lan sen? Goril misin? Nesin? Öldürüyor mu seni? Neyse ölmüyor. Bana saldırma, sikerim belanı Diablo. Selamun aleyküm. Alın lan beni içeri. Bu ne?
By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Sana ne lavuk?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero
Yalan bak,
tolerance for
zaten
lawbreakers.
Suriyeli'ye benziyor. Sikerim seni, çok konuşma. Bana koyacağım çıkarken. Nerede bu lavuk? Adam olun.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures. Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. I don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it. sure we should get any closer.
Ne oldu bu oğlum? Olmuyor böyle. Ben yara gibi.
By orders of what's your business here?
Sana daha laf anlatamam.
All Mark. Oh, and fair warning. One more.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Selam reis.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by it.
Belki buralardan dolanırım dedim ama bu neymiş? Neyse çalmayayım, görür bir şimdi bir daha uğraşamam amına koyayım.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected.
Prudence dictates
Test
we
model
cherish all we
displayed
have.
standard overload-induced
Defend it.
paralysis, then became
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate,
Nasıl geçeceğim ben oraya?
Not sure we should get any closer.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack.
Uranium poisoning? Only a mild case, but the doctors have reported
Öyle girişi yok. Oraya bana böyle zıplarsam geçebiliyor mu lan? Çık bakayım. Çık oğlum çık. Geçemiyormuşum. Ne yapacağız?
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it. Not sure we should get any closer.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced.
Oh, a new arrival. Oh, and what's this? Fortunately for you, if you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask. For medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question. Can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to this uranium? I'll mark it down as haphazard meandering then. All right. Next, for instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Well, good for you. As a token, there, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. Don't have much to spare, but you're free.
Being this close to DeVries feels like anyway. Need something, Commander?
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Uranium poisoning? Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign mercy. Couldn't live.
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick.
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have. Defend it.
Warning. Agent. Irreparable damage to lungs imminent. Exit gaseous. Cloud. Immediately. Injuries detected. How may this unit assist you, Commander?
Ne yapacağım oğlum ya?
Apologies, I must concentrate on my work. Maybe one of the others can help you.
İçeri giriş yok mu buralardan? Alo. Şunun tepesine bineyim gideyim ondan bana koyayım. Buradan bir şekilde geçeceğim ben öyle ama çözemedim nasıl geçeceğimi. Ne diyor oraya girince?
you've been cavorting. Certainly, there is a nominal cost. All right then. Here, all better. Was there anything else you needed? Oh, gladly. What would you like to know? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the Zeranium as quickly as you... Come to think of it, there are visiting scientists next door is working on a device that shields the user from Zeranium's effects. Though she was having a spot of Zeranium in its default... In this gaseous state, Zeranium is quite...
Abi oğlum çabuk sıyrılıyor işte ya. Hadi geç ölme. Gene ölüyor amına koyayım. Şöyle bir şey deneyelim. Kapıya da alayım direkt. Gene mi öleceğiz? Daha açılmayacak ki zaten. Kitle amına koyayım. Siz yürüyün lan.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the Zeranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details. This facility's purpose is the maintenance of automechanicals. When the war kicked off, it became a military asset. The old staff should have laid down their lives to repel Auntie's choice. Now, their burden is mine. But I won't allow my unit to suffer the same. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Auntie's choice, of course. A chance Zeranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech and further damage soon occurred. No need to fret on my behalf. A good soldier imparts wisdom on...
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking... Now what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a pro... Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? I haven't time to prattle unnecessarily, no. But my current project is of utmost importance. An active discussion, and I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects. Ought to have the prototype up and running. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Bits? Is that what this is about? Assist me. I imagine a protective field that screens all manner of environmental hazards, but if you're unmoved or apathetic for some witless, unsensical reason, I'm sure I can find a way to make it all work. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here, ideally the resulting shielding will protect against any gas. But since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas, well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. I believe that covers all the necessary... Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. Ah, my little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? Until a more... Were you successful? I have tests that can be started immediately. What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical... Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. An invention that works on paper is half the work. The other, I require a component called a... You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. Don't be silly. Automechs, like the human body, are made of many parts. A liver... Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't into... So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for... You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's... No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Failing that, be prepared to... One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely... Well...
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. Be gone already. I wish I could help. Yes? I thought I made my position clear. I cannot abide any effort to weaken the security of this facility. If you're really so desperate, you can track down our second Dragoon. Damn thing wandered up the coast and hasn't been seen since. I'd have sent someone to retrieve it myself, but Dragoons are stubborn when their instructions are unclear. Good hunting. Now...
Kapçık ağızlı.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on. Just a moment to remove what I need and with this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. You do that. Anything to keep him off my back for an hour.
this close to DeVries anyway. Need something, Commander?
Not possible at target's current range.
Ready to wait. On your command.
Can't believe some of those protectorate hull heads just couldn't see the benefit of self-betterment.
Keep your petty skepticism. I'll pay my tab in no time. You'll see.
Commander, there is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you.
Always have time for a freelancer in my employ. Loose your words. I'm listening. Scouts reported a plume of smoke thick and wide billowing from the facility. Sure didn't seem to be mechanical exhaust. Got more to report? Just that Milver Street requested her presence for some mission. Normally I'd demand to be paid, but I was just glad to get her some work. Trooper Sealong was one of my best enhanced soldiers, but never took to her grafts. Been uncertain what I could rely on her for. So Milver Street holds her contract. At least for now. Trooper Sealong agreed to receive a regular stipend in exchange for her contract, the holder of which dictates what she does, within reason. She's been furloughed for some time owing to her failed grafts. Don't like Milver Street shepherding her about, but he took a liability off my hands. That's all there is to say. Now, let's talk helping you. There's a bridge gating entry to the northern part of the island. You want to get to the Vox? First step is getting through it. There's an alternate path, but it's blocked by Zeranium. I'll order my troops at the forward operating base to aid you, and you'll punch through together. From there, your target's the Skycutter Tower. Seems it was recently reactivated, and by our engineers' metrics, might be useful in overloading the Vox's defenses. a heap of fighting. My troops at the forward operating base will assist you, but if you can secure any greater advantages, you'd best do so. The Yaysayers sense they'll soon be cornered and fight all the more fiercely thereof. It won't be easy, but it's the most direct route to the Vox. Wouldn't trust the Protectorate's over-engineered perfection to cook a spratwurst. Give me the no-frills, disposable quality of Auntie's choice any day. If by some miracle your contraption doesn't turn you inside out, I'd give you a much quieter route to the Vox. Much as I'd like the bridge's clearing. Once you pass to the northern end of the island and enter the Sky Cutter, you'll need to find the tower's power routing controls. Mayhaps you can wreak some chaos at the Vox. Step light, though. There's no Protectorate gallivanting near the tower, which, like as any, means something bloodthirsty lurks within. Stay intact.
Eyvallah reis. Neyse gençler, bu akşamlık bu kadar.